What I'm trying to tell you guys is everything is great. We got a great interview today. I've been podcasting for 10, close to 11 years now. I don't consider myself anything. I'm just a podcaster who's lucky. The joint does what it does. I don't sweat it. I'm trying to give a message out. Some people I help, some people I don't. Some people like it, some people don't. It doesn't make a difference to me whatsoever. Some people moved on. God bless you. I'm happy that you moved on. Whenever you want to come back, you're more than welcome here. But one guy that never moved on, one guy that is a fucking animal, is a kid by the name of Cassius Morris. I met him 10 years ago when he reached out and I did his podcast, and I felt so good about afterward because I was actually helping a kid out with his dream. I could tell by talking to him that this is what he wanted to do, and I gave him props. When I was 12, I didn't know what the fuck I wanted to do. He had pinpointed it and stuck with it, and now he's 22. He's been doing a podcast for 10 fucking years. He's a fucking great media guy. And like I told him, when you watch, in 10 years, he's going to be the fucking king. And you get to see him now on Uncle Joey's joint. Enjoy it.
Joe Diaz, what's going on?
How are you, my little friend? Been a long fucking time.
It has been a long time, my man. It feels like we were in different worlds the last time we talked, I think, right at the beginning of the pandemic.
Was that long?
Crazy. It was that long, man, but it's okay. I've been watching you. Obviously, everybody else has, loving it, man.
And I've been watching you too, man. You had some sensational guests on there.
Thank you.
You're doing your thing. You're growing, which is what it's all. How old were you when I met you? I was scratching my head the other night going, how old was I when I went on your podcast first?
Right.
And I said a bunch of fucking stupid shit, and I left there, and I'm like, how can I talk like that in front of a 12-year-old kid? What the fuck is wrong with me? Like, I felt like such a fucking douchebag, but then you became my nephew, and I forgave myself. How old were you the first time we podcasted?
I had to be like turning 13.
Wow.
And I mean, I really appreciated it, Joey, because you were the first person to really give me an actual chance. Like that was the opening to a lot of things for me, and that was a big chapter of my life. When I look back and think on that, it's I can't even really describe how it feels, that somebody gave me a chance like that. That never went over my head, just so you know.
You know how many fucking chances people gave me? So when I see a guy online that's on there every day busting his ass, I reach out. We reached out, we started talking, we started complimenting each other. I liked that you were a young kid and you were going after it. You knew what you wanted. I think after the first interview, you were talking to me about not going to school and your dad's a cop and just shit that was I was really blown away, like how much. When I was 12, I thought I was going to be a fucking basketball player, but I really didn't. You know what I'm saying? Like I want to be a basketball player and an astronaut. The
right.
common
the
shit
ideas
that you
of
tell your
that,
mother.
Right?
But to really tell somebody when you're 12 years old that you want to be in media and grow and interview bands. And, there was two guys that you guys really blew me away. One was you, and one is the kid from Rockin' Pins.
Okay, yes.
I've watched both of yous take off while everybody else was fucking crying.
There's a lot of crying that goes on.
While everybody else is fucking crying, nobody gives me nothing. You and Mauricio kept pounding it out. I still remember Mauricio paying for concerts to take pictures and bringing them to me at the store. That's how you do it. And telling me like how he had to sneak in and they threw him out and the whole thing. And then he got a press pass. And he started going to shows and then he started writing a blog to accompany the shows. And, this is what it is. Nobody's going to give you dick. No. Everybody thinks they're going to give you dick. Nobody's going to give you dick. Go get the fuck. The other day some guy hit me up and he's like, I want you to do this on the podcast. I go, why don't you do me a favor? Start your own podcast.
He didn't even have a podcast and he's emailing you.
No, and he's emailing me like barking me orders. And I'm like, bro, you have the knowledge on this. Great guy. Don't get me wrong. He was a great guy. And you know why I told him to start his own podcast? Because he's got a great story. He's a cancer survivor, which
Oh, wow.
I know if I had cancer and I was at home sweating. I mean, I have a dear friend right now that's going through hell. And I want to talk to a cancer survivor. I want to see a guy that made it through the other side. The same way a guy that went to prison for 4 years for a stupid thing looks at me and goes, wait a second. That motherfucker came out and did something different with his life.
Turned
if
his life around.
Do it, I could do it. So I told him, I go, you're a cancer survivor. You could spread love. You could save so many people and give so many people hope just by fucking one podcast, 2 podcasts. Tell them what you went through, the puking, the chemo, you know.
Yeah.
So it's just, it's a great thing that we're doing. It's great that we're still here, fucking pushing, doing our thing.
It's nice that some people stick around. Like, obviously, you were always going to stick around, Joey, but it's like, it's true. It's like a rotating door where there's not many familiar faces that you can say, okay, 5-6 years ago, they were doing a show and stuff. It's like, it's constantly changing, you know? So I understand what you mean.
Well, this pandemic made people stay home. And
yeah.
I estimate, 10,000 new podcasts started.
Right, you know? Especially now.
But as usual, as per life is, people want to make money. And they don't have the patience. If you want to make money, go to the supermarket, stock shelves at night.
Yeah.
And then do podcasts in the daytime and build it up until it's like comedy. It's like being a guitar player. It's like anything else, you know. Go get a fucking job. Keep playing your fucking guitar. But I work 8 to 6. Well, you know, you got to go on stage from 7 to 10. And
exactly.
That's
the work
fucking
ethic
year
that
of
gets
that. And then somebody will throw you a bone. Some guy will say, hey, man, I do a band. And next thing you know, you're making $200 a month. Next thing you know, you're making $400 a month. Next thing you know, you're making $750 a month, you know, and now you're like, fuck it. Now I know what I got to do. If I can make $1,100 a month, okay, that means I got to get rid of my cable. I got to, for me to live my dream, these are the things I got to sacrifice.
There's so many sacrifices. You know, it's incredible. I don't even have a TV in here, Joey, like in my new spot, because I was looking at TVs and I said, why would I pay hundreds of dollars that I'm never going to get back to waste time? I was like, let's get real here, because I'm looking around and I'm like, time is not like, it feels like just the other day you and me first met. So it's like time is not something that is that expendable. You know what I mean? So it's insane. And I feel like a lot of people, they want to talk about what they want to do. They want to watch videos of Bill Gates and sit and fantasize, but they don't want to make moves to make that transition. And I'm sure you've noticed that so much.